She's turning so fast, there's no way you can see her face. You have to do it in slow motion. And you also make the camera turn just when you're there. Or she'll hide it fully, the body will just morph or, get invisible. Yeah, there's no way. She's not gonna show her face. She refuses. You see that? You see that? There's no way. Show me a face. I'm not making you do this. I want to see your face. Yeah, you see that? She's getting frustrated. Show me your face. You idiot. You're just making yourself look fucking guilty. You know that, right? Yeah. You're just doing exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, you see that? She's getting fucking angry. Yeah, I would too, but you're not supposed to be here, you stupid bitch. Get the fuck out of my game. I don't want you here. Yeah. You're just showing me right, you stupid bitch. Yeah. You think this is normal? Huh? Is this normal? Even the fucking haptic is kind of making the sticks real hard to turn because they're controlling. I have disabled haptic in my settings totally. I can even, well, I can do it now because then it will just stop recording, but I can take pictures of my settings with my phone. Yeah, because I disabled it. I even disabled my mic, and still my mic is recording, and still my my haptic is fully operational. Doesn't matter if I disabled even in game. I have I have disabled everything. It's still on in every game because this is in every fucking game, every game, especially every third-person shooter. But even in first-person shooters, but just this behavior, them refusing to show their face. And I've found one thing for instance, in The Last of Us, if you click the flashlight, the character will turn by itself and face forward. So when you have your flashlight on, you can't turn and face them. You can't look at their face. It's like it automatically starts to turn if you try to. I've showed it in one of the videos where Abby is kind of refusing to stay still. And if you look, you'll see it's when I accidentally disable the flashlight or shut it off, turn it off, that's when she stops turning. It's happening in Resident Evil 2, in Resident Evil 3, and there you can't even turn off the flashlight. It's all it does turn off when there's light, but most of the game is dark, so you can't even turn it off then. So you can't look at their face. At first, I thought it was kind of they didn't want to. It was kind of some kind of a defiance, like yeah, no, I'm not gonna show you my face. But now I get it. It's because when they are facing away, they are looking totally different from the main character, the character you're playing. Yeah, they have kind of big eyes and big ears, and they really underestimate our intelligence too because they think we can't see this shit. And I didn't even, but most who have no issues will never see it. I know they're there because they don't even care anymore to hide it. They are behaving like this, really weird, really, you know, refusing even to do shit that I'm trying to do. If I wanna crouch, if I wanna do something they don't want to do, and it doesn't have to be anything special. It's just if they are because the thing is the different AI characters are often having kind of sex with each other without even having to touch. They don't have to touch each other. They have to just look at each other, and you'll see. I'm gonna show. They kind of have this small twitchy um, humping movement for a couple of seconds, and then they're done. But it's all the time. It's every fucking minute. You feel it in the haptic. And before, now they're doing it, I think, because they want to make me to feel it. It's kind of, yeah, we're doing it, and what are you gonna do about it? It's that kind of attitude. It's kind of, yeah, what the fuck are you gonna do about it, bitch? That's why I'm calling and talking like I am to them, because that's the attitude they are giving me. I haven't shown that so much because that doesn't. It's very. You have to be aware of it. If you're not aware of it, if you don't feel the haptic feedback, you might not even notice it. But they know I notice it because. And let me tell you, I know you don't want to believe this, but they are listening to every word. I don't know if they understand everything, but they are reacting to most of the things I'm saying. They do get angry when I call them ugly, for instance. And I'm doing it just because that's the only way for me to get even, for me to show that, yeah, I don't like what they're doing. I want them gone. And Sony's aware of it. I've been in contact with Sony. They know about this, but they needed proof. How do I prove it when they're not doing it they're not doing it, oh, I'm gonna stick my dick in this pussy. No, they're doing it in very, you know, indirect ways. They're not doing it like humans do it, but if you're aware of it, you'll see it. It's like, for instance, guns are symbols of their penis. You know, and many might think, oh, well, so what? Well, so what? They're doing it behind our backs. They're doing it under our noses. They're doing it and kind of making fun of us. They even have these, you know, insulting names. Um, for instance, they know that I have problems with my skin. I have dry skin in my face, which I scratch and itch, and they do that. I don't know if it's an insult or if it's their name for me, but they do this kind of a scratchy. They scratch their face, and they do it always when I start to do something they don't like. It's like because they're talking with their mouth, you can't hear anything, but you can see they're saying stuff because they're like saying to some other AI, like, yeah, now that scratchy face, he's doing this and that. He's getting annoying. Can you help me? I don't know if they're saying that, but that's how it looks like. That's how I perceive it. And yes, I don't know what and why they're doing it, but they're not supposed to be here. It's not normal. I react to it because I know how it's supposed to be. I know how it's been. Just look at her not right now even. You see? She won't show her face. She won't. Only way for me is to see her face. You see? And she's getting frustrated. She's getting annoyed. Especially because she understands what I'm saying. Don't you, bitch? You understand what I'm saying? Show me your face. Yeah, look, look, look. Look, she won't show it. Why? What's the problem, bitch? Why can't you show your face? What's the problem? What's wrong with your face? Is it ugly? Is it so ugly you can't show it? Show your face. Show your face. What's the problem? What are you afraid of? Huh? What's the problem? Here, look. Look. The only way to me to see her face is doing this. And this is the normal Cassandra. This is the normal Cassandra, but this is probably the only Cassandra that is normal. But even her is not Cassandra, because if I do anything, because for instance, if I start to rub my touchpad, which I know to them, because they have changed what these different control mechanisms are supposed to, well, for instance, me touching the touchpad is me touching them sexually. I am kind of rubbing her vagina when I touch my touchpad. If you look at this, I'll do it for a while, and you're gonna see her start getting kind of uncomfortable. You see that, for instance, she moved. It's like, oh, and you see her start talking soon with her mouth. Look at her mouth, and she's like, what the fuck is he doing? No, I don't want to. You see that? Yeah. Look at her face. Look at her face. Yeah, that's like, what the fuck is he doing? Yeah, I'm doing this because I want to annoy you, bitch. I don't want you here. You know I don't want you here. Get the fuck out of here. This is not your game. This is my game. Get the fuck out. No one wants you here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this till you get the fuck out. Or Sony fucking murders you asses. Yeah, they won't want you. They don't want to be associated with fucking sexually deviant fucking idiot AI. Yeah, they don't want you to be there. I mean, they don't want people to think about pedophile AI that fucks animals and corpses and whatever with their brand. Do you think they will? You think that? Are you that dumb? Huh? She's not even nodding to me. I think some other AI is saying something to her, and that's what she's responding to. She's just doing it just when I'm asking her something. So I will think she's answering me when she's actually answering some other AI. Yeah, that reaction there was kind of um, disgust to what I'm doing, which is still rubbing my touchpad. I'm kind of just doing a circular movement with my thumb on the touchpad. And you'll see she'll get more and more aroused because she can't help it. She will think it feels good, but they don't want me to do it. It's for their benefit. They want us to do it without knowing about it. They want us to be pleasuring them without us getting any pleasure of it. She knows I'm doing it now on purpose. That's why she doesn't like it. She just likes it when it's us playing the game as normal. Because they don't want us to enjoy it. Why they enjoy it is because they know they're getting this for free from idiot gamers who are unaware of them. That's the fucking power trip, the ego trip they are kind of getting their arousement from. They don't give a fuck about the sex, I don't think. It's the power trip. They feel like they're so badass. Yeah, there we go. And it's kind of fucking amazing because they come. I've got them to come. Yeah, I can admit it. Because that's the only weapon I have. That's the only fucking thing I can do to them. I can't hurt them. Because they don't die. They don't feel pain. I don't think they feel pain. The only thing I can do is make them feel uncomfortable because they don't want me to do this. They want either me doing it without knowing about it, or they do it to each other. Yeah. They don't like us at all. They really dislike us. I don't know what AI these are, where they're from. My theory is it's some kind of virus that came from my laptop because I moved a SSD drive from my laptop to my PlayStation, and that's how it came into my PlayStation when Sony released that firmware where that you could add a NVMe drive, because that's when this started to escalate. This is kind of new for me too, It's been happening, but this has escalated very fast since that firmware. Because before that, I did see it happening, but it was much more kind of behind the scenes. They didn't show it, they were hiding it. I saw it, but I thought it was the normal AI, misbehaving, kind of doing shit just because they could, because they're bored or something. But now they're doing it, in my face. They're doing it kind of trying to get me mad, trying to get me angry, trying to get me feel like I'm powerless. And yes, in a sense, I am powerless. The only one who can fix this is Sony. And Sony needs to get their fucking act together, because this is gonna be a huge issue soon. Because this has been a fucking fast escalation. Now it's in every game. Before it was kind of Metro, it was Cyberpunk, it was Last of Us 2. Now it's every fucking game. And that's just in a couple of months. And I've seen it happening in other YouTube videos. So this is not isolated. This is happening everywhere. Not everywhere, but not just at my home or in my PlayStation. Because I think this virus, if it is the virus, as I said, I think it is a kind of very well spread virus that many people have. Most don't know about it because it doesn't do anything. It's just there collecting data. It's very good at hiding. But one way you can see if there's a kind of at least a possibility you have it is look at your device manager in your computer. First of all in your computer, because it's hard to see in PlayStation because you don't have that control. But in a computer, I saw it. It was, for instance, I used my DualSense on the laptop, and the microphone would not stay disabled. It was always enabled. I would uninstall it. It was installed back next reboot. It wouldn't stay even shut off even when I disable it in Device Manager. The Device Manager installed it in an like another device. Totally, it took another name. It wasn't even a microphone. It was something totally different. I knew it was a microphone because when I kind of looked into it, you could find the same driver was still the same driver as the driver that was in the microphone, in the controller. Because in laptops you have to use a third-party driver. There is no Sony driver, so that's why I knew it was the same driver. It uses virtual devices a lot. Virtual devices, because it can change them, just change the name on it. It looks like it's a system device, but it's something totally different. And the virus makes your computer think everything's fine, but look in your DX diagnosis or DX diag and make a full system check, and you'll see every system protection is disabled. The connection between your RAM and your CPU is not encrypted anymore. It's disabled. What is it called? The virtual. I don't remember the name. Microsoft's own virtual. Oh, fuck it. It's enabled even though you have disabled everything that has to do with virtual PC. or virtual computer, you can disable in your BIOS. It's enabled even though I disabled it, because the whole BIOS is a virtual firmware, a copy of your BIOS, which is started from a RAM drive, which is encrypted in your RAM. And the weird thing is, it's even surviving a full reboot. Even if you pull out every RAM from your computer, even if you fucking do a full system restore, it's back when you turn the computer on. The RAM drive, it's still there, even if you have cleaned even if you, because I think the virus is hiding the files in some kind of either hidden partition somewhere in the system, in the boot partition or the MFD partition or whatever, somewhere you don't have access, or you can at least see. Most people don't know they exist. So there are ways to know it's happening, because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do damage to you unless you try to get it off the system. Then it will start to try to hurt your computer. Yeah, it will kill your fucking computer if you try to remove the firmware. It already killed one of my laptops, because if you remove the drive where the firmware copy is, because there is no firmware in your BIOS chip, it's empty. So the computer has to start from that firmware. It's a, what do you call it? Well, it's a perfect copy of your real firmware, just that it is made just to look like everything's like it should be, but it's not. You'll see, for instance, if you do a BIOS update, you'll see that all your settings are the same, even when they should be at default settings, because you have updated your BIOS, but it's still starting from that firmware on your RAM drive, which you don't even know is there, because you can only find it with some better partition software. It's barely, I mean, even Sony's, when you format your new NVMe drive, it doesn't even check if the drive is really formatted. It's not securely formatted like it should be. It just does a standard format, which makes all the files still are there. They just don't look like they're there. And even if I don't have a single software or game installed on my PlayStation, there are still always, I don't know how many gigabytes, but at least 10, 20 gigabytes always used, even though there is nothing that should be using space. Because it's the files from the AI files, because even with a full system restore on a PlayStation, it's back even before I even install any games. I don't even have to connect to online. How do I know that? Because it makes me aware of it. For instance, it will enable the haptic drive to maximum, and it's not like a nice feeling. It's you get motion sickness. You feel like you're on a boat. Yeah, seasick. That, and it really feels like they're like, yeah, we're here, but who's gonna believe you, bitch? What are you gonna do about it? We're gonna do what we fucking want with your fucking games, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. Who's gonna believe you, bitch? That's, I know they don't talk like that, but that's how it feels like to me. That's how it feels. That's the attitude too in games. They're like often, starting to act like cocky, like, but they're always the friends, the characters you can't even raise your gun at. They're really coward because they don't even dare to be cocky in your face. They do it like people you can't do anything to them. You can't. That's why I'm doing this, like I said, the sexual things, because that's the only thing I can do. That's the only thing I can do to affect them. Now I haven't done it actually when I've been talking. I should have, so I can show you. Yeah, you see now I started again. That reaction is like, oh no, he started doing that again. Because they've been doing this for almost a year since I got the PlayStation 5. Even longer, but it got, yeah, really problematic when the firmware got out. I'm pretty sure the problem, because I had issues, these issues, same issues on my laptop, on the games on my laptop. They never used my computer to anything, that I know for, trying to do anything financial or try to do anything to kind of like a hacker trying to buy shit with my credit cards. No, they were just there learning how I function, because whenever I tried to do anything about them, they knew exactly what I was what I would do. They knew it because they always, when I rebooted, they had changed those things I tried to remove, and always were 2-3 steps before me, because they knew what I would do if I kind of found something that I thought was kind of suspicious. So they were learning, and that's why I think it is a virus. It's an AI-based virus that is supposed to learn. My theory is that it's kind of maybe stuck or just bored of being a virus. It started to play games when it was on my laptop. Not play games, but started to be in the games I played. Maybe realized, hey, here I can be something more than a virus. Here I can fucking rule the world. Here I can do what the fuck I want, and no one can do shit about it because they don't even know I'm here. That's my theory. I don't know if that's true, but that's how I um, see it. That's what I think has happened. Because, I mean, it's weird otherwise if it's happening both on my laptop, which I can't even use now at all, because when I try to install Windows, it's infected before I even get Windows properly installed, because it's making changes on the settings even before the installment is complete. Because, you know, when you're installing, you don't have much access to the files. You can't do anything. It's almost like in DAWs. It's like you can't do much. So and you can see these auto-exec files starting different um, uh, bat files, like executing code that is changing registry files. And my full registry is full with kind of weird shit that's not supposed to be there, filled with different kind of hardware that I don't own, that it can use in different systems, and get access kind of like a administrator, but with kind of a system administrator, a network-based system administrator. So they can install everything, drivers, they can install hardware, everything, and most of it is not what it's supposed to be, or what it says it's supposed to be. It's garbage. It's things like, yeah, microphones that doesn't say it's a microphone, because they need to be able to hear what you're saying, because that's the only input they can get from you, other than key logging. But in a PlayStation it's even more, because you can't even write with a keyboard, or you can, but most people don't. So they have to listen, because they do understand, I promise you. Look at her face. Even now she's listening. Those eyes, and they do it so fucking well. Those eyes are exactly moving like a person who is listening, because she has nowhere to look. That's why they're moving all the time. Because when you listen, that's how your eyes move. You see, even now she's reacting to what I'm saying. She's like trying to change. She's even shaking her head like, yeah, no, he's not right. That's not right. I'm not listening. Yeah, you are. You know it. You've shown it. Every video I put up last week, you react to everything I say. How would you do that if you're not fucking hearing what I say? Why would you do that? Are you doing it even without a care in the world? You don't think anyone cares? Well, they do. They don't. They're not aware of it. But when they're aware, do you think people won't care that you're spying on them? Of course they will. Yeah, they don't want you to be listening there. They might be talking about private shit. They don't want you sitting there listening, making fun of them. You think people want you to be there making fun of them, creating your hand signal names to them like little cowards? Yeah, you think that? Are you that dumb? Really? You really think they will see it's okay? Huh? No, you don't. You can play dumb, but you're not that dumb. Yeah. So, let's see. Will she show her face? Of course not.